Hello, and welcome to Adaptive Physical Education, Georgia Department of Education Community Webinar. My name is Julie Evans. I am an adapted physical education teacher for the Clark County School District in Athens, Georgia. This is part 2 of Stations for Students with Intensive Support Needs. In this webinar, I hope that you learn adaptations or modifications for students with intensive support needs, some activities, and some resources. Equipment used throughout this webinar is a PowerLink, which is an assistive technology device that allows you to plug in items such as leaf blower and a switch, and then it activates, using the switch, it activates whatever you have plugged in. And the last item is a switch. There are multiple types of switches, and you can buy them at a variety of stores. You can also work with your physical therapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, assistive technology, staff individual that is in your building. But there's lots of different ones, and it's best to try and see which switch actually works best for each individual student. First topic we're going to discuss is striking. In this setup, we have a leaf blower that we put a wiffle ball in that has helium balloons attached to it. So my student in the pink, she activates the switch or serves the ball, and then my student in the yellow has his tennis racket ready, and then he has to hit the ball. So she has the switch on her lap. The power link is the white object in the middle, and then it is plugged into the leaf blower, which then is activated by the switch.
You ready? One. Push it, Kanika. Push it. Push the red button.
So as you can see, my student activates the switch, she pushes the switch, and then the student in the yellow, he is working with a birdie that has helium balloons attached to it, and he has to track the balloons and the birdie in order to strike it with his racket. This is another setup you can use. Again, it's a leaf blower that is activated by a switch and a beach ball. So when the leaf blower is activated, it blows the beach ball up into the air, and then it gives my student something to strike with her racket. Or you can obviously not have a striking implement, and they can use just their hands. It also is nice that it becomes a multiple kid activity at each one of the stations, so the kids have to go collect the balls, and they can set up for the student who is working on striking. Here's a setup for volleyball. As you can see, one apparatus has various different switches on it, so you can practice serving and underhand hit, spiking, all of the different ways you can hit a volleyball. It's another leaf blower set up with a power link. Very lightweight foil ball is used so that the leaf blower will blow it over the net. There's also a multi-plug This is very useful when you have more than one switch that you want to activate the same leaf blower. Here we have another setup for badminton. The birdie goes inside the tube, and then there's again a switch with the badminton racket attached to it that activates the leaf blower. Here we have an air pump adapted putter, and it's using an air mattress blower that is battery operated. And there is a battery interrupter that allows the switch to work. The switch is a button switch that's on top or at the top of the handle of the putter. And then they can do some adapted golf. This is set up for some tennis, but it's basically to show you some different switches. This is a grasp or a puffer switch. All they have to do is squeeze this blue handle in the bottom right-hand picture, and it activates the switch, which then turns on the leaf blower, which is under the balloon, and they can, serve the ball or hit the ball over the net. Same setup, just a couple of different pictures. So the racket is actually also attached to the leaf blower, so it doesn't actually swing. They just hold the handle when they squeeze. The blue handle, which is part of the puff switch, that turns on the blower and sends the balloon over the net. Next up, we have some throwing modifications or adaptations. I call these things slingers. They are self-made from old wheelchair trays. The student just has to push down slightly on the PVC pipe that's here by my student's arm, and that releases the wooden arm, and it flings or slings the frisbee. Here is a video or an action shot. You can see all she has to do is push down on the white PVC pipe, and it releases the arm and slings the frisbee. You can use balls, frisbees, also the colorful foam rings also seem to work well as well. Just another student using the same piece of equipment. My students really enjoy to do this with some of the more other students, and they like to be able to try to catch it and bring it back. The one thing to note on this is that we always have an adult set up these slingers so that they are safe. Here we have a setup for soccer. Again, it's PowerLink with a switch attached to it, floor fan, and they set the balls in front of the floor fan, hit the switch, and it kicks the ball into the goal. Another setup we have for soccer is this is the same piece of equipment we were using with the baseball batting in the previous webinar. That can be set up at different angles, so whatever is best for each student. What we discovered is we've decided that we need to find a piece of PVC pipe that we can extend out in front of the students so that they do better at reaching this part of the attachment, so then they can have the big foam kicker kick the ball, and it seems to be better for some of our students.
Back and forth and back and forth. Push is only push. Push. Look, push, pull. Go, pull it, pull it, pull it. So he's kind of got the same thing where when he's trying to push it, like, yeah, reach all the way to the top. Yep, go, go. Yeah, good job. You did it.
This is a kicking station we have set up. Again, it's attached to a wobble switch. The wobble switch is then activates the leaf blower. The leaf blower blows it into the goal. You can also use it without the leaf blower and just have them work on kicking and trying to avoid the goalie that moves back and forth in front of the goal. Here we have some noise targets for students with visual impairments. This target is set up with bells and a timer. So throughout the screen in the target, the blue screen, there are bells that are attached. And in the middle, there's just like a kitchen timer that is constantly beeping. And that way they know where to throw. So they can throw overhand or underhand toward the target. And when they hit the target, then the bells ring to know that they've done what they were supposed to. In the second side of the picture, you can also have them work on kicking. The ball is suspended from the bottom of this contraption that is set up, and they kick the ball and it knocks over the bowling pins. Again, when they kick the ball, it shakes the PVC pipe contraption and the bells ring and gives them some auditory feedback. Resources, just adapt it. Adapt, include, move, Netflix, Kids, and Digit the APE. There are lots of different resources on the web. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me an email at the email listed here. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.